Welcome to the Ad Network and Affiliate Industry Roundtable, Trend Outlook for 2021 and beyond. I am your host, Craig Gonzalez, and I am extremely excited to be here because we have some rockstar CEOs that I can't wait to hear from. Before I joined Pubmatic, I came from the ad tech world where I was working with publishers and advertisers. So this is near and dear to my heart. I love hearing about the latest advertising trends, and I love talking with publishers, affiliates, and influencers as I feel like I'm part of that family. Now, before we start, let's go over some housekeeping. All participants are muted. There is no dial-in. Audio is through computer only. Please submit questions via Q&A. Slides and screen share views can be adjusted in your console using full screen or minimized windows. View our resource center for more additional content. Customize your console using the buttons pictured below to minimize or view components. I'll be back a little later to talk a little bit about Pubmatic and go over the customer Q&A. But first, I'd like to thank all of the CEOs on this panel for making this event happen. We really appreciate it. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our moderator, the amazing Evan Weber, founder and CEO of Experience Advertising.
Wow, thank you so much for the introduction, Craig. Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar. We're going to be talking about the advertising and affiliate industry in general, some really interesting topics. This is a roundtable conversation style, so I think it'll be very exciting, very interesting. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to indicate them in the questions box and we'll get to them at the end. So real quick about myself, my name is Evan Weber. I'm the founder of an agency called Experience Advertising. I've been in the digital marketing industry for over 20 years. I've been in the affiliate industry for over 15 years. I've worked with over 300 companies over the years since I've had my agency in growing their companies in various ways. Do a lot in the affiliate space and a lot in the digital advertising space. So that's pretty much my rundown. And we have a lot to cover in this webinar, so let's get right to it. I'd like to start by giving our panelists a moment to introduce themselves. So let's start off with Kurt. Kick things off, can you give us your background and tell us a little bit about your company, Freestar?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Evan. Kurt Donnell, I'm the CEO of a company called Freestar. We're an advertising technology company that helps publishers optimize revenue on the website. We kind of take care of everything on the back of the ad tech side, running real-time auctions on 10 to 15 billion advertising impressions across our 500 plus publishers, and then have all the relationships with the demand side as well. So we kind of really take the headaches out of monetization off the plate of the publishers and let them focus on creating content and driving audience, which they tend to be the best at.
Great, thanks. Sam, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and Everflow?
Yeah, hey everybody, pleasure to be here. My name is Sam Baerwisch, co-founder and CEO of Everflow. Everflow is a SaaS platform that is serving about 700 customers. We are a partner, an affiliate marketing platform, so serving agencies, ad networks, affiliate networks, advertisers, across various verticals. My background is in advertising and affiliate networks as well. Prior to Everflow, it started an affiliate network called Moolah, which was eventually sold to Opera, so I have a lot of experience in that space.
Great, nice. And last but not least, Todd, would you mind giving us a little background on yourself and ARAGON Advertising?
Absolutely. Thanks, Evan. So Todd Stern, I've been in the affiliate space since 2010, founded ARAGON Advertising in 2012, where I serve as CEO. ARAGON Advertising is a performance marketing agency. We also do a lot of our own product development and content publishing. We have sub-segmented into several verticals. Notably, we're quite active in the insurance space and in the lead generation space for our home services companies, financial services companies. And we've also developed an agency called Vibrant Performance, which focuses on end-to-end affiliate program management for brands, largely in the fintech space.
Great. Good to hear. Okay, so now we're going to move forward into the topics, the subject matter. So first, Sam, first one's for you. Okay. Can you tell us a little bit about the different types of advertising and affiliate businesses out there, From my understanding, Everflow works with a vast array of companies in the sector. So I think it'd be interesting and helpful for our audience to get a high-level understanding of the types of companies in the space and how they may be similar or different.
Yeah, absolutely. We do work with a variety of different advertisers and various verticals. I mean, we do focus on what we call performance advertising versus brand. And with performance, there's various payout structures that you can set up. You can set them up obviously in Everflow, but generally you could do per sale, commission structure per sale. You can do per lead. As we see with a lot of lead generation verticals, especially in, like insurance and finance, or even CPC or CPM. But the variety of the customers we work with are on performance basis, and there's different verticals that we work across, e-commerce, app install, etc.
Gotcha. So there's safe to say there are many different types of companies and businesses leveraging performance-based marketing or affiliate marketing to drive acquisitions.
Absolutely. And in the the way we're seeing it is an alternative for the channels that a lot of companies may be working with. A lot of folks work with Google, Facebook, but affiliate can be a very important channel for additional customer acquisition, and really a unique channel from our perspective.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the affiliate channel is most definitely, a channel unto itself that has its own growth trajectory and needs to be focused on heavily by the company to, use the right agencies and companies to grow the channel. So that's great to know you're doing good things there. Also, the other panelists, feel free to chime in if you want to comment on any of these questions and answers. So, all right, so let's move on to the next topic. Todd, this one's for you. Tell us a little bit about the advantages and disadvantages of working with an in-house ad platform or an in-house tracker versus working with a third-party platform. Why would companies use one versus the other?
Well, we always recommend that any brands that we work with have their own tracking platform. There's so many advantages to licensing your own technology as opposed to relying on a third party. Number one, first and foremost, really is you own the data and the affiliate relationships if you have your own technology license for your own affiliate activity. We always encourage these startups to go in that direction, but we also have a network business. We have established relationships over in the past 10 years in the affiliate marketing space, where if an advertiser is looking for growth and they want to hit numbers quickly instead of just going out and creating your own platform and recruiting natively, there's a value into going to existing networks. So we generally advise advertisers to do both. Have your own tracking platforms, you own all the affiliates and all the data, and license and contract with sub-networks that have the existing relationships. Those two make a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah, that's a great answer. And, it depends on the company and what their objectives are. Some companies are completely comfortable with the in-house strategy, some with the network strategy, some both. So it really depends on the strategy in the company and how much resources they can dedicate it to growing the channel. So it really is a unique decision to each company how they want to proceed. And I've seen companies that they start on a network, a third-party network, then they launch the in-house, or they start with the in-house and they launch the network. So it can be done at different times depending on what's right for the company.
Completely agree. There's not one size fits all strategy.
Right. Okay. We have a lot of, we're going to move kind of fast, everyone. So we have a lot of questions to get through and the Q&A at the end. So we're just going to kind of move along here quickly. All right. So this next one is for Kurt. So Kurt, you've been in the media and publishing space for a long time. Can you speak to what publishers want out of their ad networks and affiliate networks? What makes one network more enticing than another, and why?
Yeah, so we're in a little bit of a different spot where we represent the publisher and we're really on the supply side here. So optimizing their revenue is job number one. Our entire business model is kind of built around that, where it's a revenue share. So we only win when our partners win. And so that's one of the biggest things, of course, is making sure that we've kind of got their best interest in mind. Our industry has been unfortunately rife with overpromise and underdelivery way too many times. And so we've really kind of prided ourselves on doing everything we said we're going to do, and we really kind of act as an extension of the team. So we've got to build that trust with folks and really know that we've got their backs at all times. So I think there's the technology piece of things that is wildly important, but also the human element of really being that partner that's there for them. And ultimately, we're saving them costs on the headcount side and driving revenue. So it's a definite win-win.
Yeah, and that's a great point regarding, you want to build the relationship with your publishers. And all the wonderful things you can deliver monetization-wise, it all starts with the relationship. Of course, they want to churn as much revenue from their inventory, from their ad inventory, but you're going to achieve that through a great relationship.
I think that's both with the publisher themselves and their audience, particularly as third-party cookies start to erode here, figuring out ways you can engage your audience and have a better relationship externally too is going to be increasingly important for publishers, and we're launching a number of tools to help our publishers do that and kind of manage that on their behalf too. So I think the whole world is a little more relational these days than it used to be.
Absolutely. Look forward to seeing what those tools are. All right, so let's move right along. That's a nice segue into the post-cookie landscape. So this is one of the hottest topics in ad tech as of late. A lot of companies have made changes to cooking, and Apple just came out and now they're making all the users agree to accept tracking and all the apps that they use. So a lot of big changes coming down the pike. Sam, how do you think ad tech companies are going to change their strategies to adapt to this new normal, where advertisers can't personally identify the targets with third-party cookies the way that they used to?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It's we're at Everflow, we're obviously facing this, on the front lines. And one thing I would say is that things are way more complicated now than even 5 years ago. And I used to be on the network side, and at the network side, I was in a situation where we had both our internal developed platform as well as manage the advertiser relationships. And I think that's becoming a very difficult position where you own the technology as well as the relationships. You kind of have to focus on one or the other, and that's kind of what we're seeing. But yeah, like mentioned here, third-party cookies are going away. They already kind of went away with Safari. They're going away with Chrome. So first-party, and there's a lot of things you have to do working with advertisers in that, in terms of either server side or setting up first-party cookies. But there are technology solutions for that. And then what we're seeing with on SCAD as well as with Facebook. Again, server side implementation is kind of where folks are going. But it's a very fast moving environment, and developing internally the technology is becoming very difficult for most advertisers. That's why we're kind of seeing this transition towards SaaS platforms that are API based, that are open with a lot of reporting and analytics is kind of the wave of the future from our perspective.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with that. I mean, even Facebook, they're having all their advertisers switch to conversion API tracking because their conversion tracking was completely shot in the behind, as in the last week or two. So they're pushing all their advertisers to use API conversion tracking to get a better. And they even put a thing in the dashboard where, in the ad platform, where it'll approximate the number of conversions in the reporting, which is completely unreliable. But I guess they're throwing it in there to give advertisers a little bit more of a insight while we're working through this issue. But something tells me everything's going to work itself out. We do a lot of retargeting campaigns with clients on different platforms, and I haven't seen any drop off there yet. and that's third party as far as I know. So it's not quite an absolute, but it's coming on. So it's like monkey wrenches, that's what I call it, monkey wrenches, and we're just going to have to work it all out. But I think everything will work out. All right. So now we're going to move on to one of my favorite subjects, which is publisher happiness and satisfaction, because not enough companies, in my opinion, dote on their publishers enough. They don't build a relationship enough, and we all know that building a relationship and affiliate marketing, performance marketing is paramount. So, Kurt, this one's for you. Drawing on your time at Chi Media, can you talk to us about some of the key areas that advertising and affiliate businesses need to be aware of to keep their publishers happy? As a publishing partner, what would make you more inclined to work with an advertiser as opposed to another company?
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier, and you kind of alluded to it. I think it comes back to that relationship and really having that foundation of trust. Where we sit in the marketplace, we essentially look like one giant publisher, but we're taking care of every single thing for them, from the technology to the collection of payments, remitting the payments to the publisher so they don't have to deal with the headaches of AR. And we're also really the technology partner that keeps them out front. So I think it's about who's going to be a partner that's going to keep you proactively out in front of things versus reactive. Are they coming to you with new ideas? Are they kind of continually pushing the envelope and being there as that true advocate on your behalf? And that extension of your team is really what it is. I know that some of my favorite vendors are the ones that are pushing my business forward by bringing new ideas to the table and things like that. So, there's a variety of folks in our industry that kind of can do what we do. I think we set ourselves apart by being that true partner that's pushing things forward. And that's what everybody should seek in any vendor relationship. Right.
Very good. And to add on to that, the sponsor of this webinar, Topality, is, the number one in payments to publishers and partners. So it's really important to have the payment stuff, which we're going to talk about later, completely ironed out from day one. So they have a high level of satisfaction with their payments, and their commissions. So that's always great to have on point. All right, so we're going to move on to the next slide. Oh, you know what? Let's hear real quick from. Hold on, let me back up. Let's hear real quick from Sam on the same topic. You deal with a lot of publishers. Anything you want to add on to Kurt's answer and how Everflow's solution is designed to keep publishers happy?
Yeah, generally agree with everything that Kurt mentioned. What I would add is, ultimately publishers care about transparency, reporting, data, and that's what they want. Notifications. Basically being very transparent with publishers. I know that networks or agencies or advertisers sometimes, or at least in the past, have been not as transparent with folks, and I think those days are gone as well. Yeah. There's just so much data information out there, and that's what we try to do. We just allow our advertisers to be as transparent and provide the data that publishers or affiliates need.
Yeah, that's a great point, because publishers traditionally have always been a little bit suspicious of the who they're affiliating with. Is the tracking working? Am I going to get paid? Those are the main issues. But that's always been two of the hot button issues with affiliates and partners and publishers over the years. And, my philosophy has always been, dote on your publishers, get them, get them everything they need proactively, don't wait on them to ask, but proactively handle them. So that's good publisher management technique, in my opinion. All right, so let's move on. We're going to hear from Todd now. So Todd, tell us a little bit about how your company works. You have your network of affiliate, you have your affiliate network, and you have Vibrant. So tell us a little bit about how each one works and how you're keeping advertisers and publishers happy.
Yeah, absolutely. So our business has evolved over the years, but we do one thing primarily, which is driving growth through the affiliate channel. We have two affiliate networks, ARAGON Advertising and ARAGON Premium. The former is largely for driving new leads and new calls to marketers in the insurance and home services space. And then ARAGON Premium is a business focused on connecting mobile app advertisers with growth through content partnerships, review sites, strategic brand partnerships, as well as through programmatic mobile app marketing. When we launched Vibrant Performance, it was really from the learnings over the years that brands, particularly the fintech startups that we target, needed a partner that had the relationships and the expertise in the affiliate space and was able to quickly get an affiliate program up and running and provide full end-to-end program management. So all in all, at the end of the day, we have multiple avenues now for any brand to grow their affiliate activity, and we can sit at different parts in their publisher distribution, either as their agency or as their network, or even through our owned and operated publisher, the Money Manual, in order to drive acquisition for them.
Yeah, and I have a lot of experience with the Money Manual, and having advertisers with you guys over there, and I can tell you that the quality is phenomenal, and the volume is there too. So, can definitely vouch for the lead gen and, stuff you're doing on that side of the equation. And I have another client that uses you on the call side. So, I know you guys are
great.
Yeah, exactly. So I know you guys,
excellent.
I know you guys are delivering, in multiple respects for the industry, not just one thing. So that's exciting.
I think part of our strength over the years has been our diversity. This business can ebb and flow, and being able to have such a breadth of services and types of clients that we work with has consistently enabled us to grow year over year.
Awesome. Great to hear. All right, let's move right along back to Sam. So Sam, let's talk a little bit about affiliates and publishers that advertisers should have. So you have advertisers on your platform, Everflow, and of course they want affiliates, they want publishers and partners. So can you talk a little bit about how you guide your advertisers, or how you connect them with publishers on the platform?
We have like I mentioned, we definitely have we have a lot of advertisers. We also have a lot of networks and publishers that use us. And it, essentially it's for, the advertisers, they're, looking to grow their customer acquisition through various partners. On the publisher or network side, it's really around tracking conversions, in an accurate manner. So, funny enough, we, when we started the business 5 years ago, obviously we were just rolling this out to different customers. But then, as we're up to 700 now, but as we kind of started crossing 100, like a lot of them just wanted to be connected with each other. And then that's why we launched EverExchange, which is our marketplace. We don't take a commission or anything like that. That's not our job. Our job is to connect people and get them to be as successful as possible. And that's an area where we're going to continue to focus on this year, is just connecting advertisers with pubs. And we do have some unique pubs and unique advertisers on our platform.
Very nice. Very nice. Actually, let's talk a little bit about payments. We're already on that slide, I see. So, one second. So back to Sam. Why is it important to automate publisher payments? What advantage do you have from streamlining publisher payments, the process? And if you don't have a clean process, what can happen? Yeah,
publisher. So this is something, again, we learned probably, a year or two into, starting the business, which is advertisers wanted to pay, payments is very important for publishers and affiliates. Obviously they want They want to collect payments on a timely manner. And, this is something that started coming up with a lot of our initial customers, like, how do I pay publishers through your platform? Which is why we started looking at the integration with Tipalti. We have competitors in this space that have built out their own publisher payment solution. And, that's not something we wanted to go down that road, just because, first of all, we didn't think we would do a great job. Payments, especially when you're talking internationally and various types of payments, is a complex thing, and it's something you want to do properly. And which really started the partnership with Tipalti. We've integrated Tipalti through our platform so that folks advertisers or networks can pay all their publishers in a seamless fashion. And that's been great. And that's going to be our focus, where, we're best of breed from our perspective in terms of affiliate management and tracking. And we feel Tipalti is best of breed on payments. And that's how we architected this versus, some of the other platforms out there.
Yeah, and it's really important to, onboard the publishers into a good payment process from day one. Like we mentioned earlier, you have to collect their tax form. You have to, get their payment preference type, and all of that, the frequency in which they're going to be paid. So it's reassuring. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's the other thing is that, we also found, like, there's know your customers. There's a whole bunch of compliance issues that, you really, we didn't want to go down that rabbit hole with payments. And, but, someone like Tipalti is, can handle all that for you.
Absolutely. Okay, so Kurt, let's hear your thoughts on this. Tell us a little bit about why you decided to evaluate your finance automation and some of the major regions you decided to look at Tipalti.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of doubling down on the last answer a little bit, but I'm a firm believer that you should be the best at the things you can be the best at. And if there's somebody else that's built a business entirely around something that's not your core competency, it often makes a lot of sense to outsource that. When I first started with the company 2.5 years ago, we were spending multiple days a month, dealing with collecting, as you said, all the tax forms and everything, updating payment information, and manually setting up hundreds of wires and ACHs. And it was just, frankly, a time suck and not necessarily differentiated for us. I don't think anybody comes to work with somebody in our space because they're the best at making ACHs. So it made a lot of sense to kind of outsource that, save us, half a week, a month of doing that, and truly take the compliance risk away too. I mean, as a recovering attorney, I would be remiss if I didn't point that out. There's a lot of tax issues that can pop up, and certainly the privacy issues and all of those things, and having somebody that's kind of world-class taking care of that on our behalf just made so much sense. So it was a real win-win from a lot of different perspectives for us.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's move along. Back to Todd. So Todd, your team actually uses Tipalti and Everflow. Can you talk to us a little bit about that setup internally, what you use both solutions for, and how has it helped improve your organization and help you scale?
Yeah, so we have 2 instances of Everflow for each of our affiliate network businesses. Excuse me. All of our vendor payments are pushed from Everflow to Tipalti. The platforms sync pretty well together, so it's really easy for our financial team to get payments out to vendors on time. And that's the most important thing when you're an affiliate network, is making sure affiliates get paid on time. Relationships is very important. Being able to provide transparency, but also they need to get paid on time. That's right up there in the top 3. So Tipalti lets us do that, and it's a huge time saver, as Kurt said. We were manually wiring partners, paying PayPal balances for several years before we started working with Tipalti, which I think was in 2017 at this point. So it's been a while, and we've never looked back. It's just been a huge time saver, and it's worth it.
Yeah, it really is an overlooked area of running this type of business. You take it for granted, but in the past when I've worked at companies, we had to pay all the publishers, write all the checks, cut all the checks, have the CFO sign all the checks, complete hassle, complete, waste of time. And no one likes to sign that many checks, trust me. So everyone's happy all around with a tool like this. Let's move along. So when I talk to companies all the time, different types of companies that come to me and they're looking to do something in the affiliate space, for instance, they ask me, when should we, what should we do with payments? When should we start thinking about this? I say basically immediately. This is the kind of thing you want to deal with. You don't want to have to worry about, to be honest with you, because it, throws monkey wrenches into the whole process, and time could be spent on things like managing the publishers and getting them to produce more and getting stuff out of the advertisers. So no one has time to deal with payments. So this one's for Kurt, Kurt and Todd. From your perspective, why is it important to start thinking about the payment process early on, and how does it contribute to your long-term growth, and exit plans even?
I mean, from my standpoint, it really goes back to what I'd said earlier of it's not probably going to be the core thing that differentiates your business. And so it's just prime for outsourcing, and making, obviously having the confidence going to be done right and on time every single month. But there's no point in trudging through what several of us have done where you're doing all those manual payments and everything when you could just take care of it at the outset. And it really is just that time saver, and it's going to save you headcount along the way that certainly your accounting or finance person could be doing a much better and higher use of their time task if they were working on budgeting, for instance, or cost cutting elsewhere than physically setting up wires.
Yeah, and to add on to that, when we're working with new advertisers and talking to them about managing their affiliate program through Vibrant Performance, one of the very first questions we ask is how they're managing payments. And as soon as we cross that bridge, especially with startups who don't have the technology infrastructure yet and are still figuring out what the affiliate marketing vertical really is, and we ask them how many PayPals they send out per month. It's almost you could see the gear shift in their head because they realize how easy it is all of a sudden to drop that. With small teams of 10 to 20 people, they greatly value not having to think about those things. So what's one of the first things we talk about when we're presenting to new advertisers?
Yeah, and it's even a hassle if they have a really small team or no team. They could be spending time going and finding new publishers and affiliates as opposed to figuring out how to pay the ones they have. So it's just a time drain that the publisher managers could be spent focusing on more important things like finding new publishers and helping current ones get productive. So, yeah. Go ahead. Okay, so is this the last? This is, I believe, the last one. Did we not? Why is it important for networks to have a streamlined payments workflow? Who wants to take that one?
I mean, I can take, this is Sam, I can take that one just because, we work with WePower or, use it, or a lot of networks use us. But it's super important just because, again, the just having the streamlined capability, and what we find is some of the networks actually, they work with so many different publishers across various time zones, and you might be a network in the U.S., but your publishers are global. So, it just and it's becoming more global. Even 5 years ago, there weren't as many folks, I would say, working in such a global manner, but that's changed. Even with COVID, where people are just all over the place. Different currencies, different time zones. It just becomes really we have some networks that just literally have thousands of publishers, right? And it becomes impossible. And the way we've set up kind of the integration with Tabali, you can kind of mass pay people on an automated fashion in a weekly, monthly, whatever kind of time scale that you want. So that's, it's a huge plus for networks to do this, I would say.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to change topics a little bit. We're going to move on to the whole COVID situation and how that's impacted digital advertising and affiliate marketing. So, a lot of things have happened in the last, year and a half. A lot of direct-to-consumer brands have gone into e-commerce, where they weren't selling direct to consumers previously. A lot of companies have just surged online. A lot of dollars have surged online. Digital advertising spends are up. Everything in e-commerce is way up, and we'll probably continue that trajectory. Perhaps not quite the same trajectory, but definitely an upward trajectory. So Todd, let's start with you. So talk to me about how this has affected your company in the last 6 months to a year.
Yeah, in the initial stage, there was actually a big surge in activity. So this was March 2020. That was related to a lot of brand advertisers, Fortune 500 companies just dropping their ad spend, and all of a sudden, Facebook and Google were a lot more affordable. So, but that tapered off pretty quickly, and then we saw a dramatic shift away from a lot of our insurance clients, which lasted a couple months. But meanwhile, we saw a ton of growth in the fintech partnerships. We had particularly the investing area, investing as a percentage of all activity coming from retail versus institutions grew from something like 10% to 25% last year, which is insane. And that's in large part due to the pandemic and people being home and basically everything else in the world being closed except for the stock market.
Yeah, and a lot of people, became investors. Apps like Robinhood, even Cash App. Now you can buy stocks in Bitcoin through Cash App. A lot of the accessibility to fintech and just investing really blossomed in the last year or so. And so I imagine that helped Aragon, build up those channels as far as driving user acquisition for those types of companies.
Absolutely did, yeah. And the fourth quarter, we did see quite a bit of a rebound in the insurance sector as well. So all in all, it was a strong year despite all of the headwinds.
Got it. Good stuff. All right, we'll move on to the next slide. So now we're going to, well, it looks like, hold on, let's backtrack a little bit. Sam, let's go to you on the COVID question. Let me back up the slide a little bit because we didn't hear from everyone on this. Talk about what happened with Everflow in the last year, with what kinds of clients came on board, what kinds of industries came on board, where was the activity coming from?
Yeah, absolutely. So with COVID, I mean, we continued to grow. We grew 60% last year, which was great. I'm a little older, so I've been in business for 20 years, and I've seen downturns before. And typically, like I would say, performance marketing, affiliate marketing is the last thing that gets kind of dropped. Brand advertising, like Todd mentioned, that tends to go away at first. And so I didn't really, even when COVID was starting, I didn't really expect the performance or affiliate part to really take a hit. However, what was nice, we did see a pretty big uptick in e-commerce clients. We have integrations with Shopify and BigCommerce, and those we saw a lot of e-commerce folks come on board, and and with those kind of direct to consumer brands on Shopify or BigCommerce, they for them, influencers is kind of like the new affiliates. Essentially it's an additional partner, and a lot of them to that point were probably just getting paid on a CPM basis or a promotional basis, and they want to do it on a performance basis, which is why they were looking at it or had started using the platform like Everflow. But certainly e-commerce, a lot of things, and I do expect that to continue into this year and next as well.
Absolutely. that's a great segue into talking about influencers and creators, because we all know that, in the last, 2 or 3 years, it's really come on strong. And, and now with TikTok, the whole creator thing is pretty much exploded. Now, how this is going to impact, affiliate marketing in a larger sense is it's going to impact it. How much is a question mark, in my opinion. But let's talk about, things related to creators and influencers. So, I'll throw this one out to whomever would like to contribute, but, where are the influencer channels shaking out? Like the Blogger network, are influencers actually switching over to becoming affiliates? In my experience, they've been tentative, because they don't know what they're going to make. They don't know how well it's going to convert. So there are issues. It's not just a slam dunk, in my opinion, converting influencers into affiliates. It's a noble endeavor, and it does work to a degree, but it needs a lot of focus. It needs a lot of, proactive outreach, management, making the traffic they're sending convert, all that good stuff. So who would like to comment on that?
This is Kurt. I'm happy to jump in. A couple jobs ago, I was at a company called She Knows Media. We actually acquired a company called Blogger, which is the biggest network of female content creators, very much bloggers at the time, but kind of flipped over into being more influencer marketing, obviously the rise of Instagram and various things. And my wife actually also runs an influencer marketing business, and it's been very interesting to see it shift from kind of the beginnings of those platforms where brands were doing the sponsored post, will pay you X hundreds of dollars to just post something, to really over the last couple of years it has gone a lot more performance marketing, a lot more affiliate focused. Companies like To Know It, particularly in the fashion space and things like that. I think just with the measurability and people obviously needing to track their ROI, it's shifted that focus from blindly spending money on maybe awareness marketing to true performance marketing inside of the influencer space. And I think the influencers have come around and realized sort of as the market's matured, that's where it needs to be.
Yeah. And one thing I like to always mention when I talk to companies about influencer marketing is, one of the strongest aspects of influencers is actually having them create the content for the brand. And then the brand uses the content in their own advertising campaigns. For instance, if you sell workout, equipment, you find some, fitness influencers to work out with your equipment or take your supplements, create a nice video, a nice testimonial, and then the brand will use that in their Facebook ads or TikTok ads or whatever platforms they're running on. And so using influencer created content is a phenomenal way to make the company's own in-house advertising campaigns, or if they're using agencies, they send that content to them and let them use that. So that's where I'm, excited about, leveraging that concept in effective digital advertising. But it is, we are moving, influencers and creators into the affiliate space, by any means necessary. And we'll just have to see how that develops over the next couple of years. And it will grow, but how much we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I just to add on that is, I come from the affiliate space, and I would say 2 years ago, I was very skeptical about influencer. Yeah. I'm not skeptical anymore. I mean, we have customers of ours that are driving hundreds of thousands of dollars, whether they're, fashion, especially like in fashion and beauty. Yeah. In fact, I would say like it's probably becoming a requirement. The word influencer is used a lot, but, a lot of them are what we call brand ambassadors, or, in the case of, we have like a supplements company that has a lot of trainers out there that are just pushing this stuff. And it's, frankly, it's just becoming like a necessary thing in certain verticals. And we're seeing real success. So I think it's just going to continue to grow.
Yeah, it works really well in certain verticals. I have there's a company I used to work with in the past. It's a fashion brand. She sells bikinis, and she doesn't spend $1 in paid advertising, and she does it all organically through IG, through Instagram, and she drives a lot of revenue without spending a penny in advertising, just because the micro influencers she has posting about her stuff have a large following, and they buy the bikinis and so on and so forth, and it becomes a snowball. So I've really seen it perfected in that space. And I think it can be that concept can be duplicated, but some things are more conducive to it than others, niches. So we'll just have to see how that all plays out. But real quick, I do see a lot of, I'm in a lot of groups, Facebook advertising groups and things like that. I do see a lot of people complaining about, doing campaigns with influencers and it's not driving revenue, but, it's all about how you do it, the strategy. And, are you using coupon codes? Are you using dedicated promos? How are you tracking it? How targeted is it? Many factors will determine whether that type of relationship will actually drive revenue. So, yeah. All right. So we're getting close to the end. We have a couple more questions. So let's talk a little bit about just what's next for the industry, what trends to keep an eye on, things of that nature. Let's open it up to the floor. Anyone who wants to answer this real quick. What do you think is coming next?
Sure. Yeah. Okay. This is Todd. I could start. Obviously, influencers are a huge growth opportunity, especially for e-commerce. We don't see too much of that where we focus primarily on areas like insurance and fintech. But what we do see a lot of in our sectors are growth of brand-to-brand partnerships. It's now common that each app in the fintech space refers users to other brands and receives a referral commission for that activity. And it's quickly outpacing growth in the content space. So continuing to see the affiliate infrastructure, the technology landscape being used to track compensable transactions referred from one advertiser's app to another by sending them off to complete an interaction. That's an area we've seen a ton of growth on, and we're continuing to emphasize this kind of growth with our clients.
Interesting. Okay. Anyone else want to, what trends are you seeing in digital advertising or affiliate to keep an eye on?
Yeah, I can. Just to kind of echo what Todd said. I do think just the traditional paid with Google and Facebook is becoming, continues to be more challenging, more saturated, more expensive, and that's why partnerships are becoming more and more important. I think affiliate marketing specifically for a long time has been kind of in the shadows, but it is just emerging as this kind of partner marketing. Partner marketing process, or that involves, just managing different partners, whether they're biz dev relationships, influencers, referrals, etc. People are just, just because of the saturation within Google and Facebook, people are really relying a lot on that for future growth, or at least planning to.
Yeah, that's a great point, because the whole concept of partnership marketing, which I was actually doing 15 years ago, where you partner with other companies and as each other's affiliate or on a performance basis, that's really coming on strong. I see it, a lot of companies like, whether it be Partnerize or even CJ Impact, whatever the case may be. And if you're using Everflow or whatever platform, reach out to other companies, try to get them as your affiliate and say, okay, this is what we can do for you. We have an email list, we have a placement here, a placement there. And what do you have for us? We'll run you on our placements. You can run us on your placements, and we'll pay each other on a rev share. So that type of thing is completely served over the years. And I'm glad to see it coming on strong the last couple of years. And it really is a biz dev thing. And they get tracked as affiliates or partners. So I'm optimistic that aspect of affiliate marketing will continue to grow, continue to flourish. Obviously, you have to hammer out those deals, and they're not exactly, slam dunks. It's a lot of biz dev. It's a lot of, convincing them to do it, because they may not have tried to monetize their audience with affiliate offers before. So convincing a company that has never tried to monetize with affiliate to do so is not easy, but it's definitely doable now more than ever. Any of you guys see any of that going on?
This is Kurt. I think it's just going to be interesting to see how we continue to have advertising woven in different places. We've built a nice little niche in the retail media space where e-commerce sites have realized about thoughtfully weaving advertising into a otherwise e-commerce experience are able to leverage the eyeballs they have on their site. If you think about how e-commerce typically works, you got to get somebody to the site, get something in the cart, get them to check out to hopefully make 20, 30% on that. And if you can weave some advertising in there, you've offset your customer acquisition cost or paid for other marketing there. So we run ads for folks like JCPenney, Sears, Fanatics, and folks that have found this to be a nice alternative revenue stream. So I think you're going to see advertising creatively, whether it is affiliate or more typical sort of display advertising, just woven into different places and different environments.
Yeah, that's a great point too. And along the same lines, companies that get a lot of website traffic, and they sell a product or a service, they're not exactly comfortable with, showing ads on their website or putting it in their newsletter, So I really feel like that's changing. And, you can monetize your audience as a company and use that money to go fund more traffic to your own website. So it's a self-propelling kind of strategy, in my opinion. It can help offset some of your advertising costs that you're, spending so much to drive people to your website. So by running some offers on your website or to your email list, you can offset some of that cost and, get your ROI costs down. That's a little strategy there. All right. So now we're going to hand it back over before we, see if there's any questions and answers we need to address. We're going to flip it back over to Craig, talk a little bit about the company.
Hey, thanks, Evan. We'll be jumping into audience Q&A shortly, so if you have a question or a comment, please submit it using the Q&A widget on your screen. And now I'd like to walk you through how Tipalti supports the fastest growing advertising, affiliate, and ad tech businesses in the world. There's a lot of great logos on this slide, but the one I want to point out is Blue Tonic. They introduced me to Tipalti when I signed up to become a payee. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, so thanks, guys. We have 1,400 plus customers, and we have 20 billion in annual transactions. When I started about 2.5 years ago, we were doing about 4 billion in annual transactions. So we're growing like crazy. What stands out to me the most is the 98% customer retention rate. When a customer signs up, we're on this long journey together. Your success is our success, and we truly believe this. As I mentioned before, I came from the ad tech world where I was paying about 270 publishers, and it took me about 6 days to process all payments each month. With Tipalti, it took me 2 hours. But it's not just about payments. Tipalti handled the onboarding and vetting of my publishers. They handle the tax form collection and validation, the W-8s and W-9s, so I didn't have to chase them down at the end of the year. Tipalti also handles invoice processing, global remittance into 196 countries in 120 currencies and 6 payment methods. We also offer NetNow, where you can actually earn revenue from your payables, which I think is pretty cool. And to top it off, super simple instant reconciliation and tax prep reporting. Now, do you need Tipalti? I don't know, but it's definitely worth a 20-minute call with one of our reps to find out if it's time to automate and let Tipalti handle it. Thank you so much for listening. Now let's start the Q&A.
Okay.
So I see one question actually for Evan. Can you tell us a bit about some of your most successful clients and what makes them so successful? What are they doing better than others?
Wow, what a question. It really is, company to company, client to client. Whenever I work with a company or a client, I'm always hyper-focused on their website or landing page's conversion rate. So when a company comes to me, they want to, grow their affiliate program or do paid search, Facebook ads, whatever the case may be. The first thing I do is I analyze their website, audit their website, and suggest whatever CRO tools, conversion optimization tools, and strategies can be implemented on the site. So that's first and foremost. Once that's worked through, I won't even work with a company that isn't on board for that kind of thing, because I just know it's not going to work well enough and meet expectations, or at least what I think should happen. So by honing the conversion rate of the website or landing page where the traffic is going, you're sort of ensuring the success of your future affiliates or your paid search or your social advertising, whatever it may be. So, I'd have to say that, it varies niche to niche, industry to industry. You have to be able to leverage the, channels properly, the digital advertising, the affiliate channel, retargeting. You have to be able to leverage that properly. And then you have to be able to convert the traffic well enough to get a return on ad spend that makes everyone happy. And back to publisher, satisfaction, they need, just like they need to get paid on time and, with Tipalti, their traffic needs to convert well enough. So if they're not making what they think they should be making, they could drop it. So you're working hard to get affiliates and publishers. You want to keep them happy by making sure the traffic they're sending to the offer is converting really well. And so that's what I would say is the differentiating factor of how we approach it as opposed to other agencies that do something similar. We heavily prioritize the conversion rate optimization process. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Evan. Here's another one. Which verticals are the strongest and get the most publisher traffic currently?
Who's this one for?
I believe that's for everyone.
Yeah.
Again, which verticals are the strongest and get the most publisher traffic currently? Oh, I believe that's for Kurt. There we go. It's Kurt.
Yeah, so our publisher mix is very interesting. We've purposely remained very content agnostic and represent sites ranging from Barstool Sports to Al Jazeera to Essence to JCPenney, like I said. So ours, from a traffic standpoint, really is dependent on who our partners are at the time. Certainly during COVID, news sites did very well. We happen to represent one of the largest coronavirus tracking sites, and this past year was very interesting where it shifted to that. And our sports sites, for instance, didn't do as well, obviously, given the lack of games and various things there. So it really is very seasonality driven from our perspective. Our gardening sites are doing incredibly well. Casual gaming did really well over this last year. People had a little more idle time, but it really kind of ebbs and flows with the season and who our partners are. So I can't, give a truly definitive answer, but overall web traffic was up drastically over the course of the last year. Feels like it's slightly starting to normalize here as vaccines are rolling out and people are, I think, just genuinely getting out of the house a little bit. But overall, advertising rates have been great and certainly no lack of inventory.
That's great. Thanks, guys. I think that's pretty much it for now. So I think we can wrap it up. But before we do, again, I want to thank all of the CEOs on this panel for taking the time out of their busy days to actually do this event. We are so thankful, and I learned a lot, and I hope everyone else did too. So thanks again, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Great to be here.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having us.